This is the entry to Pahalgam, the Valley of Shepherds, roughly 100 kilometers from summer capital Srinagar. This is the same place which was horrified by last year's militant attack, which left more than 25 people dead, including tourists. Under normal circumstances, most roads would lead to Pahalgam at this time of the year. But a sense of fear and caution prevails here. Even a year after the deadly attack in South Kashmir's Baisaran Valley that resulted in the killing of 25 tourists and a native poniwala. This visitor from Chhattisgarh had lost a relative in last year's attack. She and her spouse chose to visit Pahalgam despite apprehensions and anxieties.
I visited Pahalgam in my childhood days. Now this is obviously first time. Very beautiful place. We were very scared. In fact, one of my relative, we lost one of our relative in that.
Celebrated for its meadows, snow-capped mountain peaks, glaciers and the Lidar waters, Pahalgam is one of the most sought-after scenic spots in Kashmir. But Abdurrauf Wani, who heads one of the pony associations, tells us the Baisaran attack has derailed tourism here.
काम अभी थोड़ा सा कम है, जैसे अभी टूरिस्ट डेस्टिनेशन जितने भी है वो सारे बंद है, जिसमें हमारा बाइसरन वैली है, चंदनवाड़ी है, दुनो वैली है और कश्मीर वैली डबियन है। इसकी वजह से थोड़ा सा अभी टूरिज्म में फ्लो कम। हमारी डिमांड तो यही है कि ओपन होना चाहिए, इसको रीओपन आप कर लीजिए, क्योंकि ये जो एक छोटा सा तबका है पोनी वालाज का, ये एक छोटा सा तबका है। तो ये जो हमारी ट्रेन है पटरी से जो नीचे उतर गई है 22 अप्रैल के बाद।
On the 22nd of April last year, Roof had risked his own life to save a tourist family in Baisaran. Fortified security arrangements are in place. Local poniwalas say they have been assigned a scan code after verification having all their details. They require permission from the authorities while looking for stray cattle in the woods. This track behind me leads to Baisaran, a well-known tourist resort where last year in a deadly attack, 26 tourists were killed. And now the poniwalas, whose livelihood depends on tourism, are saying that tourism has received a jolt after the incident. And they are saying they're not able to forget that incident, and their appeal is that the government should throw open and reopen the route to Baisaran and Chandanwadi because their livelihoods depend on tourism. There is undeniable fear here, but some tourists are returning to Pahalgam with renewed hope. They seem to be in awe of Pahalgam's natural beauty and local hospitality.
Kashmir is like Jannat, and I really loved it because I explored so much things here, and this is all new for me, and it is very that means it is very adorable to see all of the Kashmir things, and people are also very good, supportive.
Is it your first time to Pahalgam?
सेकंड टाइम नहीं, अब सुना था कि अब थोड़ा क्लियर है, कोई ऐसी दिक्कत नहीं है यहाँ पे, तो इसलिए आ गए। मतलब कोई अभी नॉर्मल है।
अब तो बहुत बढ़िया है, यहाँ पे सब कुछ बढ़िया है, आ सकते हैं घूमने, कोई दिक्कत की बात नहीं है, यहाँ पे बहुत बढ़िया है।
This is one of the restaurants in the heart of Pahalgam, and these are the scenes that are visible in almost every restaurant. The chairs are empty, and it has become increasingly difficult for hotel owners and restaurant owners to put food on the table for their families. Not a single customer has visited this businessman's Kashmir art store till late afternoon.
काम तो अभी पूरा ठप है, पूरा 0%, पूरा ठप है काम। नहीं, अभी तो गुड़ियल भी नहीं हुआ, पूरा बेकार है इस साल, पिछले साल से जब से अटैक हो गया 22 अप्रैल से पूरा ठप था।
बीच में कभी हुआ था थोड़ा सा?
बीच में थोड़ा बहुत हुआ था, जनवरी में ठीक था, दिसंबर में फिर थोड़ा उठ गया, थोड़ा इंक्रीज हो गया, फ्लो हो गया, फिर एक महीने से 1.5 महीने से पूरा ठप है।
आपको लगता है ईरान जंग से भी थोड़ा सा असर हो गया?
उससे भी लगभग 80% 70% उससे भी बहुत मुतासर हो गया टूरिज्म।
लेकिन
क्रैश हो गया, क्रैश।
लेकिन ज्यादा बाइसरन वैली में जो
बाइसरन तो मेन इशू है। बाइसरन अटैक वाज मेन इशू। Handicraft industry, whether it is tourism industry, every person depends on tourism, especially in Kashmir. Agriculture तो 30% है, 70% depends on tourism.
Pahalgam has over 5,000 hotel rooms, but stakeholders say occupancy is not close to even 30% after the attack.
Basically, in Pahalgam area, we used to have around 5,000 odd rooms. But in whole of the Linger Valley, there are more than that now presently. And the occupancy has not been beyond 30% in, if I say cautiously, in the last 1 year. It has been lower than that. It has been from 0%, 5%, 10%. Then ultimately, we can say for on upper side, it is just around 30%. It has not crossed that 30% mark.
Top sources in the region's tourism sector say over 3 million tourists visited Jammu and Kashmir in 2025. But after the Baisaran attack, the tourist numbers dropped to 12 lakh in the next 12 months. Hotel and restaurant owners have been forced to lay off staff members. The Umar Abdullah-led National Conference government claims it has taken several initiatives to revive tourism in the region, but says its hands are tied because matters related to law and order and security are not under its control.
I feel several attempts have been made in the past year by organizing, sort of tourism festivals in different places across the country. Not only across the country, at international level as well. Attempts are being made and people are yearning for, tourists to come back. Because as far as this region is concerned, it's entirely dependent on the tourist trade and tourist economy. However, there are certain limits, The UT arrangements are not providing full authority to the government, elected government, to complete those initiatives which would fetch results, because law and order part is lying somewhere else.
Frontline is at a place which is known as mini Switzerland of Kashmir. Baisaran Valley, where a deadly attack took place last year, is only 4 kilometers from here. But now it's a haunted place and no-go zone for both domestic as well as foreign tourists. Last year, the Frontline team covered the deadly attack and heard all views of tourists and all stakeholders. And now the demand is that things should calm down and tourists should be allowed to visit this place again so that the pony wallahs and those who depend on tourism can earn their livelihood once again.